There's a place in Tuscany where history isn't just written in books, but lives and breathes in every stone. Get ready to discover Volterra, a city that holds millennia old secrets, a city where the past has never truly passed. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a journey that will take you back in time within the walls of one of Italy's most authentic and fascinating gems. Today, I won't simply tell you about a village, but I will guide you through layers of civilization, from the mysterious origins of an ancient people to the greatness of an empire that left an indelible mark. We'll tell you about a proud city, carved in stone, that has watched over the Tuscan hills for centuries. A city that for millennia has hidden an incredible treasure, protected by mud and oblivion, a treasure that today tells us incredible stories. Are you ready to cross the threshold of time with me? Imagine a time far away, long before Rome became the empire we know. Here, on these windswept hills, a civilization as fascinating as it is enigmatic flourished, that of the Etruscans. Volterra, or Velatri as they called it, was not a simple settlement. It was one of the 12 most powerful city-states of the Etruscan Dodecapolis, a vibrant center of culture, art, and commerce. With such strength that it dominated a vast territory that reached all the way to the sea, we are not talking about a small village, but a true metropolis of antiquity, with an influence that extended far beyond the borders we know today. When you arrive in Volterra, the first thing that catches your eye, or rather that takes your breath away, is its city walls. Impressive walls, built with massive stone blocks, which almost seem to blend in with the rock of the hill itself. These are not just any walls, they are a silent and powerful testimony to Etruscan grandeur, capable of withstanding the elements and assaults for millennia, almost as if jealously guarding the secrets they conceal within. And within these mighty walls there is a symbol that more than any other embodies the indomitable spirit of Volterra, the Porta all'Arco. This is not a gate like any other. Think about it. It is a structure that has witnessed 2,500 years of history, yet it still stands proud and intact. Its stones, worn by time, sculpted by wind and rain, seem to still preserve the memory of the chariots and warriors who have crossed it, of the merchants who have emerged laden with goods, and of the pilgrims who have found refuge there. It is a 1,000-year-old sentinel, the Porta all'Arco, a guardian that has defied the wear and tear of the centuries with a majestic architecture that speaks for itself. It is one of those rare monuments that, when you look at it, makes you feel tiny in the face of the grandeur of time and history. Crossing the Porta all'Arco isn't just passing from one side of a wall to the other, it's truly crossing the threshold of the past. It's taking a leap back in time. In a glorious era that can still almost be felt in the crisp air of Volterra. It's an experience that gets inside you, that makes you feel part of something much bigger than yourself, of a story that continues to flow uninterrupted. The shape of its ashlars, the precision of the arch, and above all the three sculpted heads, perhaps protective deities or perhaps faces of illustrious ancestors. They make you understand the sophistication and power of a people who knew how to build for eternity. The Etruscans, with their incredible engineering and refined art, had transformed Volterra into a nerve center, a point of reference for the entire Tyrrhenian Sea. Here, within the Cyclopean walls, life was bustling, bronze was forged, alabaster was worked. The cult of the dead was celebrated with cinerary urns of incredible beauty that still fill the city's museums today. It was a place of power, of wealth, of culture, a beacon in the mists of antiquity. But, like every civilization, the Etruscan one also saw its decline. Then came the Romans, with their organization, their military strength, their ability to assimilate and transform. And Volterra, while maintaining its dignity and part of its identity, integrated into the new immense empire. But the Etruscan traces, like benevolent ghosts, have never completely disappeared. They are there underfoot, in the foundations of houses, in the layout of streets. And above all, in that Porta all'Arco which continues to tell the story of a proud people who were the first to give this land its name and its soul. After walking along the streets that were once Etruscan, we descend slightly towards the valley, and here, as if by magic, a breathtaking spectacle opens up. The enchanting Roman theatre of Volterra is not just an archaeological site, it is a jewel of a rare beauty, a monument that captures the imagination and transports you directly to the golden age of the Roman Empire. Imagine what this place must have been like 2,000 years ago. Its incredibly well preserved steps rise majestically towards the sky, almost as if defying time once again. They are there, perfect, ready to welcome a cheering crowd. The monumental, imposing, and richly decorated scene stands out against the open and boundless panorama of the Tuscan countryside. There is no more beautiful, more natural backdrop than these rolling green hills, which seem made especially to frame such magnificence. Imagine the atmosphere, the vibrant air of voices, the rustling of togas, the sounds of an orchestra, the laughter and clapping of thousands of spectators. Here the Roman citizens of Volaterrae attended theatrical performances, comedies that made them laugh, tragedies that moved them, and perhaps even gladiatorial shows or games that kept them breathless. It was the center of social and cultural life, a place where emotions were amplified, where the pleasure of entertainment and entertainment was shared. It was not just a building, but a stage for life itself, a meeting point where the greatness of Rome and the vitality of a community were celebrated. Looking at those steps, you can almost hear the echo of the voices, the buzz of the audience waiting for the show to start. It is an experience that goes beyond the simple observation of ruins. It is an experience that touches the soul, that makes you feel part of a history that has been lived with intensity. The Roman theatre of Volterra is a splendid example of Roman architecture, not only for its size, but for the harmony with which it is inserted into the landscape. Roman engineering knew how to combine functionality and aesthetics in a sublime way, creating works that still leave us amazed today. The acoustics, even today, are astonishing in some places, allowing an actor's voice on stage to reach the back rows without amplification. It was a theatre that was cutting edge for its time, a source of pride for the city, a place that reflected Volterra's status and importance within the empire. Every column, every fragment of marble, every stone tells of an age of splendor, of a civilization that shaped the world and left a legacy that still influences us today. But the history of this magnificent theatre is even more fascinating because it is a story of oblivion and rebirth, a true tale of how time and nature can both hide and protect. Imagine this archaeological jewel, this stage of life disappearing for centuries. Yes, the Roman theatre of Volterra remained buried for an incredibly long period, from the late ancient era until almost the present day. In the Middle Ages, with the decline of the Roman Empire and the new needs of the city, the theatre was abandoned. People no longer used it, and nature, along with human activities, began to reclaim its space. The area around the theatre became a sort of dumping ground for medieval debris, earth accumulated, carried by rain and agricultural work, and layer after layer the theatre was literally swallowed up by the earth. It was covered in mud, debris, rubble, and for almost 1,000 years it remained there, invisible, protected from the world and the ravages of time, almost as if it were in a deep sleep under a blanket of earth. It wasn't just forgotten, it was completely hidden, like a secret jealously guarded by Tuscan soil. Its rediscovery was a sensational event, a true epiphany for archaeology and for the city of Volterra. It was only between the 1950s and 1960s that, thanks to targeted archaeological excavations and the intuition of some scholars and citizens, this priceless treasure came to light again. Each shovel of earth removed revealed a further piece of this wonder. Each section brought to light was a thrill, like discovering a lost city. The theatre, exceptionally preserved thanks to its burial, appeared almost intact, with its steps, its orchestra, and the remains of its imposing stage. It was as if the mud and earth had acted as natural preservatives, protecting the structure from the elements and human destruction. And that's not all. Adjacent to the theatre, and discovered in the same years, are the remains of the Roman baths. Just think, after an exciting show under the Tuscan sun, Roman patricians and wealthier citizens could relax and socialize in these baths. The baths were not just a place to wash, they were true centers of well being and socialization, a symbol of the importance that the Romans gave to the care of body and spirit. There were rooms for hot, the calidarium, warm, the tepidarium, and cold, the frigidarium, baths, gymnasiums for physical exercise, and spaces for conversation, discussing politics, philosophy, or simply enjoying company. Imagine the steam rising, the scent of oils and ointments, the chatter and laughter echoing off the walls. These remains testify to a fundamental aspect of Roman life, showing how well being and pleasure were an integral part of everyday life, even in a peripheral city like Volterra. The theatre and the baths, so close together, were a single complex dedicated to entertainment and personal care, a perfect example of Roman culture and organization. After having traveled through millennia of history, we arrive at the most evocative moment, the one in which Volterra reveals its deepest magic. Imagine being here right now as the sun begins its slow, majestic descent toward the horizon. The golden lights of the sunset paint the ancient walls a warm red, illuminating the stone that has seen so many ages pass by. It is an atmosphere that seems suspended in time, almost unreal, where everything takes on a softer, more ethereal contour. It is here, in this magical moment, that coexistence is truly felt. The shadow of the Etruscans, with their mysteries and their ancient power, seems to dance lightly through the alleys. The greatness of Rome, with its engineering and culture, is still clearly evident in the remains of the theatre and the baths. They are not separate civilizations but layers of a single history which intertwine and overlap, whispering stories of a rich and glorious past to those who know how to listen. Volterra isn't just a village, it's a crossroads of civilizations, a meeting point where time seems to have stood still, allowing the past to live on in the present. History can be felt at every turn, not just in the great monuments, but in the details, in a medieval arch, in a Renaissance window, in the smooth stones of an ancient street. Every step is a journey, every glance a discovery. It is a place that enchants and fascinates, a silent reminder of man's extraordinary capacity to create beauty, to build for eternity, to leave a legacy that defies the millennia. Volterra teaches us that some things are never truly lost, but are transformed, hidden, and then, with the right attention, returned to light, more precious than ever. It is a city that doesn't just tell history, it brings it to life. And when the sun has completely set and the first stars begin to shine in the dark sky, Volterra transforms into an even more magical place, wrapped in silence and quiet. A place where dreams of the past mingle with hopes of the future, leaving you with a sense of wonder and gratitude for having been able to walk these blessed lands. It is an experience that remains in the heart, an indelible memory of a journey through time,